Social isolation. It doesn't affect me at all, but from how others describe it, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. If Kazori were to consider me a friend, I'd consider her a friend as well. I should continue working on this paper, but surely it couldn't hurt just to rest my head on my arms a while. That's all the rest of his homework did not get done. Click! Go! Phone takes a sweet old time. Son of a bitch! Guess I should have seen that coming. What time is it even? I check my phone's clock and see it is well past 10. Shit, must have been more tired than I thought. I still am, if I'm being honest. I should just wash up and go to bed for real. I rise from my seat at the desk, only to suddenly feel... Ah, fuck, my neck. Note to self, arms make for an absolutely lousy pillow. They do, it's true. Gotta be careful with that. I rinse my hands and brush my teeth over the sink. Ugh. I'm still in my uniform. I'll just head downstairs for a glass of water, then change out once I get back. Given how dark the house is, I rely on touch and muscle memory in order to navigate to the kitchen. You could also activate lights. You know, there's nothing stopping me from grabbing a bottle of wine and drinking myself to sleep. Mom does it all the time. She'd probably notice if some of her wine went missing, though. I just fill a glass with water before heading back upstairs to my bedroom. I nestle snugly under the covers and close my tired eyes. All becomes black, and there is nothing left in the world save for me and the sound of rain against my window. Alright, guess that was day 1. There are 4 days in this demo. Sometimes you'll encounter choices that are unavailable to you. These may have been influenced by prior decisions. Oh, I kind of figured. But how do you encounter choices that are unavailable? Did they mean like you'll click it and it'll be like, nah, you can't do that because you failed to fulfill the requirements, you dumb bum? Please turn off your alarm. I hate it. Thank you. Eyes still closed, I felt around on my nightstand with my hand until a stray finger happened to land my phone's stop button. Land on my phone stop button? Oh, I booger there, bud. Get it out. Get up. Keep going. Come on, Hallie. Up and at him. Get up. It'd be so easy to just close my eyes again and sleep the day away. Most kids have adult figures in their lives who would give them an earful for even entertaining the idea, whether it's parents, relatives, teachers, family, friends. Not family or friends, but family friends. If I wanted to, I could just waste away on this bed. That sounds like a nice, peaceful way to go. I should finish Beneath a Crimson Moon first, though. Fine. I'll hold off on dying for now. What the fuck? I went to bed in my uniform! Everything that happened yesterday must have thrown me off so hard. I mentally slapped myself. No more! From now on, you're going to keep up appearances, Hallie, and if you don't, I'm going to kick your ass until you do. Whatever is wrong with me this morning, I'm sure I can scrub it out in the shower. I carefully fold my outfit and place it at the edge of the tub, knowing I am just going to be putting it back on once I'm out of the shower. Ugh. Okay, yeah. Nothing like a hot shower to shake off those morning blues. Let's see. Today's Tuesday, which means my classes are home economics, mathematics, statistics, and art. I'm actually quite looking forward to home ec. Obviously, I don't often get the opportunity to cook or bake for myself, but whenever I've tried, I've been a natural at it. I wonder what kind of stuff they'll have us make. I want cupcakes. Of course, after home ec comes calculus, which is considerably less fun. But then comes lunchtime, or, in my case, reading time. But neither Crimson Moon is taking its time with the pacing of its mystery, which I appreciate greatly. Too often, modern horror writers are tempted to blow their load too early and have monsters show up and start killing fuckers in the first chapter. Not to say this didn't happen in older works either, but that seems to be a disappointing trend in modern media in general. It's not like I can blame writers for it either, when there are literal millions of pieces of media anyone could consume at any point. Authors will do whatever it takes to try and hook the reader to get them to read all the way through. But the thing is, I don't agree with the notion that something shocking or dramatic needs to happen in order to hook readers. Attention gained in this fashion is very surface level and won't attract the kind of people who are given to being invested in a story. Correct. And it's the people who allow themselves to be absorbed into the world of a story, the people who soak in the world building and the characters and their relationships. Those are the people who are going to read it all the way through, and the people who will buy the next book in the series. The story shouldn't be fighting with the reader, trying to wrestle their attention away from literally anything else. The readers who matter are the ones who will give you time to cook, the ones who don't find character introductions and relationship dynamics boring. In other words, not basic bitches. And those are my shower thoughts for the day. Damn you, long hair. Get dry already. Comes with the territory. Once my face and hair are in a state of presentable wretchedness, I don the uniform once again. Should I take one more look at myself? That really doesn't seem like your style, but I'm gonna make you do it anyway. There you are. Gonna tie that tie, bro? Oh, what? I need to, test my expressions? No, we don't need to go that far. We've seen how awful we look. Should I take one more look at myself? No, you're done. Just get out. I'm sure I look like $1,000,000 right now. I stop at the kitchen, leaning into the countertop and tapping away on my phone. Jeez. I wonder if I'll ever get used to people actually texting me.
Salam son bakar, honey.
I'm sure I botched that pronunciation.
It means good morning.
Herb derb to you too, then, Kazori.
You are well on your way to becoming a polyglot, dear Hallie. By the way, I checked the attendance sheet online. Looks like my share calculates on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's wonderful. I hope we were assigned adjacent seats.
I wouldn't count on that. All the seats surrounding me are taken.
Unfortunate. Kazori's really nice. Kusei.
I'm sure she appreciates meeting someone who treats her like just another human being.
I guess he's just remembering the text. Maybe I should put in a little bit of effort for her. I checked the time on my phone. It's only 6:30. Home ec is at 7:30, and the walk to school is about 30 minutes. Which means I have about 20 minutes to kill. I should eat breakfast. Should just watch some TV. Might as well catch up on what's going on in the weird world around me. Good God.
Today's forecast calls for heavy rains and possible lowland flooding in the Sarabatu Prefecture. This unprecedented summertime deluge has set records yet again. Since the devastating 1959 Pacific typhoon season, the Office of Japan's Prime Minister has worked tirelessly in the ensuing decades to reinforce Japan's infrastructure. Prime Minister Kikuchi Seiji has praised the strength of Sarabatu City's advanced runoff systems and the sewer networks, which combined with the city's high elevation, has prevented the disastrous collapse of infrastructure observed during the 1959 typhoons.
I was still reading that. Yeah.
Government officials urge citizens to consider working hard for the sake of...
But hey, we got the lore about how the rain isn't ruining everything. I shut off the TV. Wow, so it's still raining, no shit. After slipping on my shoes, I subject myself to the airport full-body pat-down treatment to make sure I don't or didn't forget anything. Can't imagine any planes have been taking off lately, at least in this city. I mean, rain doesn't stop everything. Once more into the breach. House is all locked up. Hopefully Mom didn't lose her keys somewhere. The sky falls as tears upon the surface of my umbrella, the bereft heaven's grief pooling around my shoes and disappearing into the sidewalks through grates. Man, I thought you said the gloomy poets were done with rain. What has happened to cause such sorrow in the world so out of reach? The death of a beloved God, pity for the plight of us mortals, perhaps the ennui of eternity itself. Of course, no conclusive answers are offered. The men of science are baffled, and the men of God continue the same doom-saying they've spouted for thousands of years. If I were to venture a guess, the rain is a heavy-handed symbolic representation of existential anguish, a reflection of our generation's nihilistic disillusionment with modern society. No, it's just permanent atmosphere for the mod. Manifesting as cold, merciless rain, regarding not as to who's deserving and who's not, and the only distinguishing factor being who has an umbrella and who doesn't. The haves and have-nots, a pitiless, dismal emptiness that soaks to the bone and lingers in the minds of even those sheltered few. God, you're emo. But that would be an incredibly shitty metaphor lacking any sort of subtlety or nuance. I wouldn't read this book if there was a gun to my head. Real life is an awful story. I hate it. It doesn't have to be awful, man. Sometimes it's just what you make of it. Oh, it's that pink-haired girl again. If I didn't introduce myself on the first day, I'm sure as hell not doing so now. That'd just be a different level of awkward. I'll just continue avoiding her since apparently I'm going to be seeing her every morning now. Go away, please just go away. Hell, you piece of shit. It's not like it's her fault. Once again, the shifting soup of human activity converges. The voices surround me, coalescing into the occasional stream of coherent thought, like so many alphabet noodles. Kurosaki's new series is really fascinating. It's about this guy who finds this book that tells the future, which at first is great, of course, when his life slowly starts getting flipped upside down. Dude, did you hear about that crazy girl on the rooftop? Spent the whole day just soaking up the rain. Didn't even show up to class. So weird. Kinda pisses me off that this school is garnering a reputation as a refuge for freaks. I've been here for 2.5 years, and only recently have we been seeing all these... Kinsey should really stop wasting his time with every loser who tries to enter a circle. I mean, I've been his friend for way longer, and we haven't even gone to karaoke. And sometimes I enjoy listening to their voices, tiny glimpses of life as seen from the eyes of others, painted uniquely by their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences. But sometimes the colors they paint are ever so dark and dreary. Words of judgment penned by unforgiving hands, venomous ink seeping, blackening all it touches. What I'm trying to say is gossip sucks. It does. People are weird. But that's a convenient sentiment for me, who exists on the fringes, where I part of the popular circles in all their spiteful games. I cannot say I'd be above rumor-mongering myself. I close my umbrella, this time making sure to do so over the asphalt outside before placing it with the others. I open my locker and switch out my shoes. Still nothing in the way of pranks. Good. "10 minutes till the start of home ec. Wonder if they provide aprons." My path merges with that of the other students on their way to the home economics classroom, and then I notice I am literally the only guy in this entire class. Jeez, I knew the stigma exists, but is it really this strong? Why shouldn't guys learn to cook and clean and pay bills? Isn't self-reliance a masculine virtue? Whatever. If I were to argue this case in front of an actual person, they'd just make fun of me. The home economics classroom is about what I expected. Rather than desks and seats, there are instead long counters with built-in sinks, stoves, and ovens. At the outer wall of the classroom is a long sink spanning almost its entire length, with counters on both sides bearing dish and utensil racks. Several fridges are situated at various points in the classroom, and there's even a cold storage closet in the corner. Every counter is well stocked with various cooking and baking implements, from cast iron pans, works, and Pyrex measuring cups to blenders, stand mixers, and waffle irons. Unlike most classes, this one has several dedicated instructors, largely due to the volume and varying complexity of the students' different projects. The rest of the class instantly spreads out, either to the fridges or to the counters to prepare their respective appliances, and once again I am left to fend for myself. Timidly, I approach one of the instructors, hands clutched tightly behind my back. I inhale, hopefully ingesting some courage in the process, and speak. Excuse me. What is it I should be doing right now? The instructor whips her head towards my direction, her sharp, narrow eyes causing me to involuntarily shrink back on the spot.
Are you on the cooking track or the baking track?
The what?
Cooking or baking? Which did you choose on the form we distributed on the first week?
This is my first day in this class.
For the love of...
The instructor's exasperation with my cluelessness is painfully obvious. I'm so sorry, I'll just...
There, pair up with her. Perhaps your ineptitude may serve as a challenge for her.
She points toward a petite girl with eye-catching pink hair. Thank you, ma'am. The words get caught in my throat. I decide to cut my losses and disengage. After psyching myself up, I quietly advance toward the candy-colored girl nervously gripping the tie on my uniform. The pint-sized dough puncher seems to still be undecided on what to do next. She leaves through the pages of a recipe book, her frustrated gaze making apparent her indecision. I just stand in place, waiting for my admittedly meager presence to be noticed. Finally, she turns around.
Jesus, fuck!
We did everything we could to avoid Natsuki, and here she is. Luckily, the sounds of running water, frying pans, and microwaves managed to spare everyone but me from her vulgarity. That is... Fannin.
Who the hell are you, and why the hell are you sneaking up on me?
I'm barely able to string two words together in the face of her outburst. She seems ready to club me with a rolling pin, but instead...
Hold on a sec. You're that new freshman transfer kid who barged in like he owns the place in the middle of the semester.
Though her description contains considerable artistic license, I nod frantically anyway.
I guess you really don't know what you're doing then. Why'd you approach me in particular anyway?
The instructor said I should pair up with you.
Oh.
She looks disappointed? Is that not the answer you were expecting?
Well, yeah, I thought it'd be something along the lines of, wow, she looks like one badass baker bitch. I better stick with her. But it seems my instructors at least recognize my abilities, so I'll take that as a half win.
Only a half win? They're the ones you should be trying to impress.